Hi, welcome to the HiKOKI 3607 DRA 185mm cordless mitre saw, powered by the new 36 volt 18 volt multi-volt battery, which I won't put in at the minute because I'm fiddling. But the thing you will notice straight away with this saw is it's got a really compact footprint, full of features. Very accurate in my experience of using it over the last few weeks. Let's open it out. It's a simple matter of unscrewing, and there you go, very positive 90-degree stop, and of course you've got all the other stops in between, plus a very clear scale where you can literally set degree by degree on there. You have a standard holder which fits on this side and that side. You have table extensions which go in like that, and they can be adjusted for height. The only thing is they're held in with a little socket screw there, and I think actually it would have been easier just to have a plastic headed knob like that to hold them in. They work okay, but ideally what I'd like is one, a work extension that slide in there. You could slide out again, and with a little stop for repeat cuts, a little fold down stop, which would be great. What is hugely impressive and what makes this saw incredibly accurate is the fact that the rail forward design is as rigid as I've ever seen on a mitre saw. There's no play in that at all. Very robust yoke system at the back here, all nicely tied in. Runs as smoothly as silk. It is one of the things that impressed me so much, and it literally makes accurate mitre cuts. You could make picture frames with it. It is that good. If you want to cut bevels, cutting bevels on the left is pretty straightforward. Slightly ease that a bit and move to the correct angle that you want, read off the scales on the side there. And because, as long as you don't loosen that too much, it's still a little bit of friction so that you can make it a pretty controlled movement. If you want a bevel to the right, different story. First of all, you have to take the fence off, and then you have to pull out the pin, and you can read that. Again, it helps if that is a little tighter so that you can move it in a controlled fashion. As soon as you get back to 90 degrees, you can pop the pin back and you're locked into position. Okay, the next bit I have to be careful with because I've got the battery in there to demonstrate the lights. Well, first of all, we have this rather nice laser light. The interesting thing about this is that by moving down behind here, I don't know if the camera can see that, you can adjust the laser line to the left side or the right hand side of the blade. Now that gives you a super accurate cut, because even though it's a very thin curved blade, 1.5mm might make the difference between a perfect fit and a not so good fit. The other interesting bit is the work light. Now, I love this. Press it once and you get your light on the left hand side of the blade. Press it twice, you get your light on the right hand side of the blade. Press it again and you get it back to the left hand side, and press it again and you're off. So it's a really good little idea. It's an extra little bit of sophistication in what is a very sophisticated little saw. Just as a final look, and because you actually see the functionalities of the saw much better from this angle, although it was more difficult to demonstrate. Things, for example, the sliding fences that you have to use when you're mitering and beveling, the groove stops, the geared adjustment for left and right, the dust bag, and so on. Now, and finally, what we come to is we've got the standard handle, which is great for left or right-handed users. You've got the push-through lock, so you can't start it accidentally, you have to do that. But what is great to see is a nice lock, electronic lock brake on the blade. So certainly enhances safety. I use the saw an awful lot in the light, in the dark, upper scaffolding, for cutting things, for cutting smaller pieces, for repeat cuts. I just set up a simple thing of clamps and stops over there, and honestly, I got to love it very much in a very short space of time. I really like the saw. I think it's a wonderful piece of kit. Beautifully made, machined, finished, very accurate. I'm wondering when we'll see them in the shops.